How you doing, kayak anglers? Recently I received a question on how I store my plastics in my kayak. Based off a series of videos I had made recently, it was a video on how I store my plastics, and I pretty much only covered how I store them at home. So I thought this was a good opportunity to go ahead and do a video, and basically everything that you would keep in your tackle box, this will be a video on how I keep it in my kayak. So this will work for just about any kayak. Some of the things will be more specific to the Native Slayer Propel types of kayaks, but I'm sure you guys can either use the same ideas or get ideas based off of what I did for yourself on your particular kayak. So we'll go ahead and get into it. This will be covering tools, tackle, anywhere from hard baits, plastics, bladed baits, anything that you would find in your tackle bag, tackle box, on how I would do it within my kayak, and hopefully this will help some of you guys out. Alright you guys, so anything you would actually stow in a tackle bag or tackle box, for the most part I stow in the back of the kayak, and I stow it in a milk crate. This one here is a pretty typical milk crate. It is a little bit larger though than your standard size milk crate. Here I have it kind of absurdly filled as far as the plano boxes are concerned. At the most I would bring plano box wise, this is how it would look. What that is off to the side I have a small 3500 series plano box, which I store some of my spoons and stuff like that. This one rarely ever comes out with me, but if I don't know a lake, or if I know it's a spot that spoons are effective, then I'll throw this one in there. Now I do throw swim baits. It is something relatively new to me, and normally I would only take out what is tied on my rods. Now if I do bring extra swim baits, that's what this plano box would be for. And it's just your typical 3700 plano box with no actual dividers in it. And I would have my extra swim baits in here, and it would be just dropped in right below these other three. Now this is how it typically looks for actual bass fishing for myself. I'll have my three 3700 plano boxes, and then what I also have in here as set as is I have some scents from Bang. Carry a first aid kit, and I have it just in a Ziploc bag to help waterproof it from water. I have a long nose pliers just in case for those fish that are deep hooked, just to help me actually be able to effectively get that hook out. I have some sunblock here, some additional sunblock, screwdriver, miscellaneous items that are down tucked up underneath this tackle bag. Anything small in addition that I need, I just kind of toss it up under there. For those plano boxes, what I carry here is, one has my assortment of jigs in it. I carry all my jigs in there, and then as far as plastics are concerned, towards jig trailers, I keep some of them in here. This one here is all my bladed baits. It's one of the 3700 Plano Elite boxes. And it has all my spinner baits and chatter baits, and then some of my actual trailers for those are stowed in here. And then the last one here is one of the another one of the Plano Elite boxes for crankbaits, and this is the Plano Box Elite size medium for crankbaits, and this one carries anywhere from my lipless crankbaits to deep, medium, shallow. What do we got in here? Some different types of jerk baits. These ones look like mainly deep diving, walking baits, top waters from poppers, whopper poppers, and my frogs. Why I left them out is just to give you guys, maybe, hopefully it's coming in view of the camera, better view of the inside. On the inside I didn't really do anything too fancy. I just took a bungee cord and put two of them horizontally across, which actually helps me actually hold these plano boxes upright and kind of prevents them from sliding up underneath my plastic bag here. So they fit like so. Like I mentioned earlier, I'll keep a box off to the side if I'm going to be using spoons. Normally I don't. What I'll normally put there is my actual drinks. I'll have like a Powerade bottle, water bottle, stuff like that, and I'll just throw it off there to the side. Now the question I had recently was about how I store my plastics in my kayak, which I keep them in this. Now this thing is extremely expensive. It's from Tactical Tailor. It's their 240 Bravo 7.62 ammo pouch that I got while I was in the military. But this thing has this hardened, or this plastic on the inside, which helps keep it in the open position so it's never collapsing. So like I had mentioned to the gentleman who had asked me the question, I normally don't carry much in there, especially if I'm going to a body of water that I'm familiar with. So I could carry anywhere from like 5 to 10 on average, and here in a moment I'll just start stuffing as many as I can get in there, and then we'll pull them out to see exactly how many do actually fit in there. But we'll start by showing you what I do have in there and give a count, so if any of you are interested in this particular pouch, you have an idea of how much it actually carries. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8 right there, and a ninth one right there. So those ones all fit in there pretty easily, and it also allows me to some extent shuffle through them to actually be able to identify which one I'm looking for and pull it out while turning around from the front seat to go ahead and access those. So right now I just have some rage crawls, trailer baits, some culprit worms, some Cincos. I don't know why they're in there. It has been tough here recently, and I know people have been catching them on Cincos. When I stop catching them on my favorite baits, then I'll definitely pull them out again, because I normally never have them in there. I don't know why, I just don't have any success or patience to fish a Cinco. In any of my tackle bags, boxes, carrying devices, you'll always find the B&M J-Bug and the B&M Swamp Hog. I don't know, they're just my go-to plastic lures. I've always had great success with them. And it's not this one is the baby size, so it's like your baby brush hog as far as in size of the plastic. Got some speed worms and some, are these the mags or the old monsters, and some Z crawls. These ones here are the Strike King's frogs. If you can even tell, I have used one. I've never caught anything on these, but I figured just to have an additional frog presentation or topwater presentation, I've recently thrown these in, and I still haven't even tried to use them yet. And then I also have some scents in here. I have some niche scent here, UV, and then outside of the Bang spray, Spike It garlic. These are some of my favorite scents, being both the Spike It and the Bang. But it's gonna be a quick glimpse in the photo as I run into the garage and grab some more plastics, and I'm gonna just start tossing them in there, so if someone is interested in paying for one of these, you know exactly how many it can carry. Now it is like almost $100 on the Tactical Tailor website, and you know, if you really want one but you don't want to spend that price and you live near a military post, the surplus stores right outside of the post, you can find these anywhere from like $20 to $30, which is still expensive, but if this is something you're interested in, that's another place where you can look for it to find them. Alright, you guys, give me 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and grab a bunch more, and we'll find out exactly how many fit in there. Alright, you guys, so the gentleman who asked me the question, I had responded to him with that it would actually carry up to like 15 to 20 bags, and that was an estimate, so I think I've grabbed 20. So there was 9 inside already, and I just kind of jammed them in there, but what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of somewhat organize them as I would if I was to jam that many in there, and we'll go ahead and figure out just how many will actually fit in here. So what I say, 9, 10, 11, 12, and you know, going up to that 15-20 mark, it's not going to be pretty. 13, 14, I believe. 15, 16, 17, 18. Wow, that's a double pack bag. What are we on, 19? And 20. So it's definitely not pretty, but they all do fit in there. And then this here, it probably won't Velcro down with that many, but it does also have these Fastex clips, where I can pull the clips up and clip them down. Let's say if I'm leaving them in the truck as I'm transporting to or from the body of water, to help prevent them from flying out if you're worried about that. While transporting, I actually leave it like that. I never had any issues with any of my plastics flying out. But if you're interested in that tackle bag, that gives you an idea of how much it holds. The biggest thing that I liked about it outside of possibly a typical pouch you could find, let's say for example at Walmart, is this plastic liner in there. As you can see how it keeps it open. Alright, let's see, sticking with this, it's basically just secured in with bungee straps on the sides, if not this strap over here. I have additional things on it for rod accessories, for holding rods. I could do that in a different video if you're interested. You're probably a kayak angler if you're watching this. So as far as my hog trough, I have a Denny Romero, I believe it's Kayak Innovations, I believe it is. One of his Kydex holsters right here on the side. This thing is a great thing, let's say especially if you're actually fishing the surf out there in the ocean, to help prevent lose it. It barely moves, you have to apply some force to actually get it to move in there, and I believe strongly in it that it won't allow you to lose your actual hog trough. Let's say if you were to turtle or fall out, something like that, a large jolt, you're not gonna have to worry about it falling out. Now one thing I did find out though with it, at least for in the location I have it, it is somewhat difficult for me to actually pull it out, is at the minimum to have it easily accessible. So the typical way I actually carry it is I just have it slid here on the side, which will be seen in this picture now, and I just found that that is just so readily available for me that I can grab it quickly. But I do still have the holster on here just because if I'm ever in a situation where I think I might actually fall out, turtle, whatever the case might be, if I can prevent it, losing it prior to the actual incident happening, I'll actually stow it in there. Alright you guys, hopefully I got this in a good placement for you to actually view it. You know, what else do you keep in a tackle bag? You know, you keep your guys' tools. So now this one here is not going to necessarily pertain, it's probably not going to pertain actually at all to all kayaks. It's going to be just more oriented towards the native watercraft ones. Reason being is it's the native watercraft under the seat tool and tackle organizer, and this is where I keep all my assortment of tools for the most part, the majority of the ones that I use on a day in day out basis. So as far as the way I actually stow my stuff in it, it's these pockets here. I go ahead and keep my pliers in. This one here I keep a pair of scissors for cutting line. And these two ones here, if you don't know already, are the shallower pockets. As you can see here, I have the full-size fish grip, and it's the deeper pocket which allows it to get in much farther. Now this one here on this side is empty, and the reason being for that is I actually keep my cell phone in here. I took a small piece of pole needle and stuffed it down in the back so it will fit my size phone, to where my phone actually sticks out about 1/4 of an inch, to where I can easily grab it and take photos of my fish. In the tackle box pockets below is where I keep my scale, and then tied off to the seat I also just have a couple spools for my leader line. I am probably 85 to 90% braid on all my rods, and then just tie on leaders as needed. You know, with that said, with that remaining 10 to 15%, I do also have some that are straight fluorocarbon lines. On this side over here, you may be wondering, as I was at the back, why I didn't mention my terminal tackle. This side here I actually stow my terminal tackle in a 3500 size Plano series box, and it has all my hooks, weights, and things like that as far as the terminal tackle goes. So outside of that, you guys, if I do have more plastics other than in the back, because I rarely ever stuff it to 20 bags, let's say talking about larger plastics such as your paddle tail swim baits and these larger plastics. In that essence, if I don't have very many plastics I'm bringing with me, let's say I know the body of water and I'm only bringing like 3 or 4, 5, 6 bags of plastics, then I might just throw them in that pouch. Otherwise, I'll take these larger actual packages and I'll stick them in the front bow hatch. Alright guys, hopefully this video was helpful for some of you. If any of you have any questions that you think I could possibly be helpful in making a video of, please let me know down in the comments down below, and I'll go ahead and do my best to try to help you guys out if there's something I think I can help you with. But until next time, keep it bent, you guys. Have a good one.